Oh yeah, okay. So the scary lady voice didn't come off. Did you hear her? Oh, she did? Okay. She didn't do it for me. Maybe they do that to keep it out of the recording. I don't know, hopefully. Maybe that's a bug fix. In any case, that scary lady, um, I wish they would just like change the voice. You know what I mean? Like my Siri is a South African man. And a South African man is like one of the most polite voices in the world.
Yeah.
And if they could get that dude to do this voice,
For sure.
I'd,
You should make the
I'd be happy.
suggestion.
I do. Actually, I do. I have. Yeah, I definitely use that feature because they don't know, right? And how else are they going to know? And businesses are really anything that cares about the service that they provide. Those type of people, those type of entities love feedback. And that goes for you. I mean, you communicate extremely well. Bailey communicates extremely well. Claudine, honestly, women communicate extremely well.
I was like, a pattern.
Yeah. In any case, I don't know how much of this will make the final cut, but hey, everybody, what's going on? And welcome to the Wednesday mid-afternoon stretch. It's 3:45, and I was opening up today's session with a few things with one of the club members, and the first thing was, "Do you have any blogs?" She said no, and that's a common answer. And in the future, if you're interested in blogs, Quark is the way to go, and there's a link attached to some of the best Quark blogs in this video. Now, we're going to do this practice without blogs. In a future one, get some. And in the spirit of how we do things, let's check in. How does your body feel today? Now, I'm asking you, of course, the audience, and that's a good thing to observe is as you sit, as you kneel, as you close your eyes and open to grace, give yourself a moment to receive inventory, updates on how we are and how we feel. And where do we feel it? Give it a second look, give it a second opportunity. Observe, how do I feel? What do I feel? And where do I feel it? Give it a third look. First look, second look, third look. Were there shifts? Likely. And were the shifts caused from you? Were the shifts revealed towards you? And the relationship between both is in part a byproduct of our yoga practice. What we feel changes, and we can change how we feel. And to be fair, sometimes the opposite too. Can't help but feel a certain type of way. And it's not very often where our feelings operate under our command. And that's okay. That little meditation set, let's shift. Moving from a seated position, open the eyes. Switch the cross of your legs or assume a cross-legged seated position if you are kneeling like me. Left hand comes to the heart, thumb resting on the sternum. Right palm comes to join with the left. Lift the heart against the hands. Surrender the chin towards the chest. The heart is lifted and the neck independently is relaxed, drooping towards the chest. Open to grace. Let's explore that. Extend the arms up, open the eyes. Cactus arms, bend the elbows 90 degrees. Stack the wrists over elbows, elbows in line with the shoulder, spread the fingers evenly. Create an anchor in your solar plexus, the upper abdomen. We talked about that bandha before, right? The Uddiyana bandha. And from here, more or less hinge back, rotating the shoulders, rotating the arms, and lifting the chin so the neck matches the rest of the spinal line. In this space, you'll hear me say every once in a while, crack your heart open. And sometimes that's what this feels like. Sit tall, extend the arms up. Take the elbows forward and down. 90-degree bend, move the elbows out. Extend from the elbow and guide the tops of the hands to rest on the tops of the knees. Good. Next phase, guide the palms to touch. Run the thumbs over the crown of your head. Thumbs come to rest on the back center of the head. Elbows in, elbows up. Palms press against one another. And again, the Uddiyana bandha. Upper abdomen in and up. Another teacher of mine would say, knit the ribs. A PT would say, activate your serratus anterior. Guide your awareness to the space behind your heart. And broaden. Good. Move the elbows out. Link the fingers behind the head. Press the head against the hands. Slowly lift the chin. And find your edge where the head can rest against the hands with the chin lifted, where the hands can rest against the head, and with the elbows moving apart from one another, drawing towards the back of the space. Also, bring into the game your shoulder blades, cupping the back of the heart and supporting the back of the ribs. Crack your heart open and open to grace. One is the active, the other is the inactive. One is the moving towards, one is the surrender. Opening the grace is to receive the moment exactly as it is. I'm not the originator of this phrase. It comes from the Anusara yoga tradition and teachings, some of which were taught to me by Amy Caldwell. More on that in a moment after your next inhale. Exhale, elbows forward, ears towards the cheeks. Keep the fingers linked, extend the arms up. Good, roll through the shoulders forward, arms extended. Good. Right now you're pushing forward with the tops of the hands. Guide the heel of the palm to touch and reach the knuckles forward. Good. Strengthen the arms. Heighten the spine. Surrender the chin towards the chest. Center of the spine creates a rainbow shape towards the back of the room. Don't be afraid to roll into the back of the hips. And when the spine is rounded, the ears will land somewhere in between the biceps. Well done. Inhale, sit tall, hands to heart, heart to hands. Flip the palms around and extend. Very good. Inhale, hands to heart, heart to hands. Extend away from the lips. Very good. Inhale, hands to heart, heart to hands. Exhale, extend away from the eyebrow line. Inhale, hands to heart, heart to hands. Hands as vertically as you can, arms extend. Good. Elbows out, knuckles to chin. Good. The Bikram press, elbows together, forearms to touch, chin up. Inhale, chin to level, elbows out, press the chin against the hands. Again, the Bikram press, chin up. Elbows, forearms come to touch. Inhale, elbows out, chin against the link of the hands. Again, exhale, push up with the knuckles. Elbows together, forearms press. Inhale, chin level, elbows out. Good. Separate the elbows, take the elbows back. Extend from the elbow now. Reach the fingertips out. Turn the palms towards the front of the room. And relax. Wrist towards the hips. Heart space stays open. Elbows by the side body. And fold the hands in your lap. relax the eyes closed. Amy Caldwell was my yoga mom. First person to, through certification, train me. She had an interdisciplinary approach. And the first thing we would do upon the arrival with her was this act of opening the grace. To allow unconditionally. As my practice progressed over the next 10 years, I saw that thread reappear in other teachings like the chakras. Earlier, I talked about how different people have different ways of saying the same thing. The chakras have an interesting story. At the solar plexus, at the upper abdomen, is the color yellow, the story goes. It's a space of willpower when balanced in its expression, and frustration in its imbalanced expression. When it feels balanced, when it feels like it's awake, clear, circulating well, there's a feeling of lightness within that region of the body. And when that lightness contributes to the open heart, the heart chakra, which rests just above it, the lightness of feeling expressed as an upwards and outwards sensation. And when that sensation appears in the region of the upper abdomen and chest, the posture itself communicates courage alongside of open-heartedness. There's elegance, there's grace, there's strength. The small sequence that we just did, quote unquote, activated it. Some people aren't hippies and won't take it that far. But that's the power of backbends. That's the power of using the shoulders in the way that we did. And that's what activating can do. Now, from the rib cage down, it's been very static. That might feel a little tight. Most people aren't used to sitting for this long. we're gonna make that shift. So you can either roll over your shins or you can release your legs. Invite your knees to be wide, just like they would for child's pose. Guide the big toes to touch, sink the hips back and down. Good. Now in child's pose, rolling forward is what we do pretty early. A lot of people don't experience this phase unless you're like a kid. For some reason, you see a lot of kindergartners doing this. Got the hands to the earth inside of the knees. And keeping the hips low and the spine tall, using the support of your straight, strong arms. Plot your hands forward. Roll to the hips while keeping your spine in its relaxed, neutral S curve. A point will come when the palms flatten. A point will come when your hip, rib, shoulder, ear, elbow, wrist, fingertip line will be smooth. Not necessarily straight, not necessarily low, but equanimity. Equanimity, harmony, togetherness in the bow. Equalness in all parts, equalness in all directions. For early practitioners is quite the task. Because there's directions we don't initially anticipate. And that's one of the beautiful things about this practice. The more you do it, the more layers you see. For today, think about it in 4 points. Bottom, top, hug it together. Left and right, hug it together. Hugging the midline. As an overarching theme, yoga mom, Amy Caldwell, would construct postures with the following instructions. Number 1, alignment and breath. You learn how to do that one together. And then number 2 is muscle energy. So learning how to activate things together. And then 3, hugging the midline. When you practice on your own, see if you can use those 3 themes. Walk the hands back. Flip the hands around. Thumbs face away from one another, fingers point towards you. Yeah, so with your palms on the ground, thumbs facing away from one another, and fingers pointing towards you. Yep, nice, Isabella. Tuck the toes under. Lift the hips to release the feet. Tuck the toes under, sit on the heels. So for those unfamiliar with that term, toes released means the shoelace, side of the foot on the ground. Toes tucked means what you think it means. It's the opposite of that. And you want to make sure that your pinky toe, because sometimes those won't quite make it, that those ones tuck too. A counter for the feet, a counter for the hands. Sink the hips back and down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, relax the chin towards the chest. So that theme, right? 1, alignment and breath. when we go to yoga sessions, we are given directions for a structure. That's our alignment. There's some principles with it that you can get into at a teacher training. Ultimately, stack your bones. Breath. Posture doesn't stop. Breath doesn't stop. It can happen involuntarily. Doing it voluntarily together is the first thing we do. Following that is muscle energy. So you activate what needs to activate. And like in this case, we have the chin released towards the chest. We intentionally deactivate things too. And hugging the midline. If there's anything around your core, which is dull, asleep, disengaged, invited to join the party. Neutralize the chin. Slowly release your hands. Walk the hands forward. Walk the knees in. Release the toes. You're going to stand on your shins. So hinge the hips over the knees, stack the shoulders over the hips. When a lot of people hear that instruction, stand on the shins, they're like, but you got it, and I'm proud of you. Nice job. So, standing on our shins, we have our toes released, shoelace out of the foot resting on the earth, hands to the lower back, fingers pointing down, thumbs facing away from one another. Remember those 4 directions: front, back, left, right. Alignment, breath, muscle energy, hug your midline. Now the back bend we're about to do is going to be only 20% of the way. You shouldn't struggle that much. After your next exhale, camel pose, Ustrasana. Draw your awareness to your solar plexus and hinge, rolling the shoulders back, neckline matching your spinal line. And remember, you don't have to go back that far. It's only 20%. Relax the face, center the eyes. Working this pose from the floor up, rooting to the earth with the feet, shins, knees. Strengthen the glutes, stacking the hips over the knees. Engagement above the hips, underneath the rib cage. And then the rolling back sensation, hinging from the solar plexus. Reach the ears up and out of the shoulders. One more breath to go. Exhale, open to grace. And be courageous here. You have strength in your roots. It's established. You have strength in your solar plexus. That's established. From the heart upwards, we surrender. From the heart upwards, we surrender. From the heart upwards, surrender completely. Inhale to rise. Hips to heels. Good. Taking a kneeling twist here. Left hand to right thigh, fingertips behind the toes on the earth. Rotate to the right. Back to center. Right hand to left thigh, left hand to the earth behind your left set of toes. Twist, rotating to your left. Inhale, back to center. Unravel, unwind. Shift the weight forward, hands to earth, tuck the toes under. Balance on your toe mount. Lift the knees up off the ground. Thighs parallel with the earth. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Step 1, balance on the toes. Step 2, parallel, thighs to the earth. Step 3, Tadasana spine. In other words, the natural S upright posture, which will levitate your fingertips up off the floor. Breathe, balance. Good. Standing forward fold is next, hands to earth. Hips up, thighs back, legs straight, heels to earth, chin to chest. Dwell. Good. Bend the knees about 30% of the way. Good. Place the left hand on the earth underneath the face. Straighten just the right leg. Extend your right arm up. Look up. Exhale, release. Straighten the left leg. Left arm up. Look up. Release. Hands to earth underneath the face. Halfway lift. Arms to a T. Exhale, release. Root to the feet and rise. Reverse swan dive. Circle the arms up. Turn the palms away from one another, arms out and down. Collect the palms with the hands at heart center. Keep the chin level, eyes centered, and close the eyes. May the time that you spend with yourself be enjoyable. We know that what we feel will shift. We know that we can shift how we feel. And may the shifts we feel at least end up enjoyable. Thank you. So that's the practice for today. Isabella, any nominations for the title or theme of this?
Maybe definitely something with the heart, like heart cracking. I liked when you said that, and I really feel like it resonated in the stretches.
Cracking your heart open. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not something with the heart.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Gotcha. Right on. Thanks for joining today. And how do you feel?
I feel definitely lighter from when we originally were scanning our bodies. And I really love how the more that I practice, I've been realizing how everything like stacks together. Like when the shoulders were cupping the heart, it was so crazy because it really, and then when we brought our hands back down this way, it like all stayed in place and it felt so wonderful.
Yo.
I feel good.
Excellent. Yeah, I nerd out about that stuff too, because it's like when we get there, when it happens, it's like whoa, because like there's so much of my time, like I feel like my
Yeah.
shoulders are like this and my posture's like this,
Yeah.
but when we got there, it's like, look at you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. That's dope. Well, thanks.
So thank
And
you.
yeah, you're welcome. I'll see you around. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
So yeah, if you're interested in this yoga club, you can currently find it at czaryogastudio.com. I'm Chris Czar. You know how to spell that correctly. It's CZAR, yogastudio.com. And the yoga club that we have is our yoga club. I wonder if I should just change it to that. I don't know. But yeah, it's our yoga club. It's the club, man. It is. It's the bee's knees. And if you haven't had an experience where a teacher gets to know you, where a teacher addresses your individual needs, you know, because you can voice them, they need to benefit from this. Also, if you meditate, we meditate more than 3 times a week, but a dedicated meditation 3 times a week. And if you're in a breath work, we do that too. If you're not in a breath work and you think you do yoga, you're wrong. No, you're not necessarily wrong. But breath work and yoga are not meant to be segmented and separated. Put it that way. I learned that when I went to India. For more on that story, you can also find that at czaryogastudio.com and a link for blocks. That's to Manduka. Use those. And the Yoga Czar podcast. Subscribe to the Yoga Czar podcast. Send in your questions through my Instagram, Yoga Czar, and I'll answer them on the podcast. How does that sound? Sound good? See the system we got? It's beautiful. Love you all. Thanks for coming through, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Peace.